Armin's new piece, or newest first, in Areo magazine. So guys, Armin just wrote his first article in Areo magazine, which is an online publication that I really love. And it's titled Iran's Feminist Revolution. And it's very good. It's very good. So I wanted to highlight, Armin's work. Okay. You guys should go read it. And let me say, Armin, okay, I was reading this and it actually like taught me a lot. Like you do a really good job laying out the history and what influenced these things, like way before even the construction of this regime, and then how that influences what we see now. And like that breakdown I thought was really good, and I haven't seen other people do it in that way. It's like I don't know, I really liked the way you analyze that and put it into context, like a much broader context than you typically see. So guys, you should go to Areo.com and read Armin's article, Iran's Feminist Revolution, because I think you could probably learn something. Even if you are on this channel a lot, you tune in, you watch our Iran coverage a lot, which I think our coverage on Iran is like more comprehensive than pretty much anywhere else I find. For an English-speaking audience, that is. Yeah, even so, you can still learn something by reading this article. And Armin just provided a link. So you guys should go check it out.
Yeah.
Mariam is saying, I'm going to read the F out of it. Thanks for the link.
Oh, thank you, Mariam. That's very sweet. I actually starting to enjoy writing articles. I wrote a book once, and then now I'm finding the process of writing articles for different publications a lot more enjoyable than what I had to go through to write my book. I wrote for Area Magazine. I wrote for Queer Majority. Now I wrote for Area Magazine. I'm going to go back to write more for also for a Queer Majority again.
Nice.
So that's going to be something about the history and theology of LGBT from an Islamic perspective, right? Uh-huh. So that should be interesting. Juicy. But yeah, so overall, do you think this was a good article? Like,
oh my God, I just gave you my highest praises, breaking down exactly why I thought it was informative. Yes.
I was being I know you say that, but I'm just wondering if you're just being nice or if you were being objective.
You know what? No, I'm not just being nice, and I can prove it, because let's go to the bottom of the article, and I would like to read the rest of the comments that are right there. Okay. Okay. Because Kamyar commented, "This has been the best explanation of this woman-led revolution so far. I hope the Western media would consider such a deep analysis about this revolution, not some banalities about feminism and political reforms."
Yeah. That's
how lovely is that?
I know.
And
I liked it.
All the other comments are talking about like it's excellent, very good. Yes, I think you do provide a much broader perspective than you're going to get from most media outlets, especially in English.
Okay.
And that's why it's so important too. Like, let's just talk about that so much. Like the language barrier is a serious problem in getting out the message of this revolution to people, because so much of the content is just in Persian. And so I think this like kind of content and writing that you do is actually like really of service to people.
Yeah. I do think like I am trying, the reason why I also feel motivated to do this is because I'm trying to figure out how I could help with like getting more people to notice what's happening in Iran. And I sometimes feel like maybe I'm not doing enough, right? So I was thinking, because we use Atheist Republic and our social media outlets and secular jihadists as a way to bring as much attention as possible. And I was thinking about what I could do more. And I'm like, well, maybe I could go figure out other publications, like outlets that is not mine. And maybe if I pitch to them and I write for them, then I will get this in front of their audience as well. And it seems to be working. So again, I'm just trying to brainstorm different ways to just get this out there as much as possible. Because
I think it's super valuable. I really commend you for it.
I mean, sometimes I feel like there are people out there in Pakistan or in Iran that are literally risking everything for liberty. And I feel guilty. I feel like, Jesus Christ, what else can we do? Right? We're just we have so much security and so much peace and so much stability. And we're not and we claim to be activists in favor, I claim to be an activist against tyranny and for liberalism, and I feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not picking enough of the weight that I'm supposed to. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll keep trying to find. We'll keep trying to do our best. But Susanna, something happened to you. It seemed like in the middle of the news, I saw you getting upset about something. While I was talking about the previous news,
yeah, sorry to get distracted.
You got distracted and very, very. It seemed like you got very sad. What is it? What just happened?
So as of about 1-2 hours ago, we can unfortunately share that the execution of the second protester associated with the Mahsa Amini uprising has been executed. His name was Majid Reza. How would you pronounce this? Rahnavard?
Rahnavard, yes.
Yeah.
This just happened?
As we were on the show.
Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, Twitter is blowing up over this right now. Right, yeah. So yeah, it's all over Twitter right now. She's Persian Twitter. So Masih Ali-Najad just wrote, Iranian regime gives the finger to world opinion and holds a public execution. Oh, it was a public execution, Jesus Christ, of a second protesters in the city of Mashhad. Majid Reza Rahnavard's crime was protesting the murder of Mahsa Amini. The regime's method on dealing with protesters is execution. EU, recall your ambassadors. Okay, so we have to see more details need to come about from this. Oh, this is him?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Look at this. This is a guy full with life, into sports. Okay, but we have to, I don't want to say much because I'm going to wait for more details because we might say something that is wrong. But seems to be credible news right now. People are reporting it everywhere.
It was reported by Tasnim.
Yeah, that's government's own source right now. So they are confirming this.
I know that people were fighting really hard for him.
Okay, you know what? Mariam is actually bringing up a point that I wanted to mention about the first execution that you mentioned, and I totally forgot. And I thank you, Mariam, for bringing this up, okay? The crime of these protesters, the crime that they're being murdered for, and the people who are carrying out these executions is what they literally did in 1997. They are proud of it. They teach us in school in Iran. The people who are carrying out these executions, they brag about the fact that they protested against the Shah. They are like, these people were in the streets Like I don't know exactly what so-called crime this person was executed for, but the first execution was for a guy that was holding up the street. He had a knife, and he slightly injured one of the armed forces, right? And he got executed for that. The regime officials were almost all of them, took part in the 1997 protests against the Shah's regime. Sorry, 1979 protests against the Shah regime. And they did a lot more. They burned things. They had guns. They were shooting. They burned down the whole cinema. They did so much more than all of this. And that is a bragging right for them. They're telling us that, like, we had the right to execute this man because it's illegal for you to fight against the armed forces. It's illegal for you to come and protest in the street and hold up a street like that. But you guys all did exactly the same thing. I don't understand. They're such hypocrites. Khamenei was part of the protests. The head of the judiciary system was part of the protests in the streets against the Shah. The judges, all the judges that are handing down these sentences when they were young in 1979, they were part of the protests. They were in the streets themselves, doing the same thing that they're now executing people for. How is it a crime for them but not a crime for you?
Because they're waging war against God.
Exactly. Mariam is saying Armin is exactly right, and that's why they're so terrified. What they don't realize is Iranians today are smarter, kinder, and braver than they ever were. The regime is finished. Yeah. We'll see about that. Do we know exactly what is this guy? Was he responsible for anyone's death? Do we know that?
I can't remember exactly what his alleged crimes were. I just know that he was charged with muharebe.
Muharebe?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that they couldn't get him with qisas.
Yeah.
Khamenei prefers to get them with qisas, but they're getting them with muharebe. That means that they don't have any civilians that want them dead. Okay. But we'll get more details about this and report with more details once we have them, because this just came out. Yeah, so this happened within the past hour or so, 2 hours. Okay, we'll come back next week with more details about that to know what exactly he's charged for.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously like the worst possible note to end the show on, but
guys, you need to share this news like this, okay? There's so many more right now.
It's so important to stay informed. It's so important.
And share the news, because you need to be part of making a noise about this, because there's so many other people, so many other protesters that are now on death row, okay? Their death sentences are being passed out, and they're being executed so fast. This is insane, even by the Islamic Republic standard. Like, these procedures used to take 2 years. They're now taking days. So you guys need to, and also these procedures, guys, these people do not even have their lawyers present to defend themselves. Anyways, okay, we need to end the show here. Sorry for the sad news at the end. Yeah, poor family. All right. Thank you guys for being here with us. Thank you for supporting. Please like and subscribe so that our channel gets a boost, and leave a comment and hit the bell notification and share these with as many people as you possibly can, and go figure out what the hashtags associated with it is, and maybe contribute that way.
Hashtag stop executions in Iran.
There we go. All right, good.
And make sure to tune in next week, because we always try to bring you the best information, particularly with everything that's going on in Iran, and really go into things in depth. So we will, definitely be bringing a big breakdown of these things once again next week.
You can now get the sexiest blasphemous art ever known to mankind for free. Too sexy to show most of it here on YouTube. We draw Muhammad, Hindu goddesses, sexy hijabi art, Jesus, Mother Mary, Japanese god, Greek gods, and much, much more. Click on the link below where it says get our free blasphemous art.